I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in L.A.Podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Yo. Best Rapper in LA podcast, 1 year anniversary. August 3rd, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Live podcast, drinks, snacks, hopefully some special guests, shit like that. Going down at the Vintage Japanese Motor Union, 611 Anderson Street, Los Angeles, California. You can follow Vintage Japanese Motor Union. I don't know how many tickets. It's a really kind of small, intimate place, so it's the homie spot. So, check the Eventbrite link. I think that's what we're going to do, Eventbrite, in my bio or under this podcast. August 3rd, in the year of our Lord, 2024, is a Saturday night. Get your tickets. It's going to be a limited affair. Hopefully, we'll have some limited merch. It's just going to be a small, nice, fun thing. I want to see some of y'all that's been listening and shake your hand and get some questions, get some feedback. Love you. See you there. All right. The next song is Can It Be? Came from Scoop's thing, and I was like, we're never going to be able to clear this. Clearing a Jackson 5 sample.
Can it be I stayed away too long? Did I leave your mind when I was gone? It's not my thing trying to...
It's been 2 years, man. Of waiting, man. For my supporters and my fans, man, I know y'all been waiting. Now it's finally here, and thank you for your patience. The world's gone crazy since we last spoke. Bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. Shooting at the school, economy's a joke. Homies on heroin, homies on coke. But can you even blame them when they only tryna coke? Damn. All these rappers wanna talk about is guns and dope. Don't they realize we all at the end of our rope? The future all depends on the power of our quotes, the power of a pen, the power of a vote, the power of your words, the power of your voice, the power of America's the freedom of choice. We choose to do nothing, we lose and we suffering. That it's time to do something. It's not socialism, it's not communism. It's loving each other, realize there's no difference. It's positive movement, gradual improvement. When no one else does, believe you can do it. My heart is a speaker, I bleed this music. The beats in my blood, I must transfuse it. If it wasn't for this, then I just might lose it. Damn. My goddaughter's Nadia Simone, Deanna knowing that our father's never coming home. Claimed by the streets, it's the mother war zone. Tears in my eyes as I'm writing this song. Mommy working 2 jobs, trying to do it on her own. No matter where I go or how far I roam, know that I love you and you'll never be alone. Damn, y'all so grown. And a wise man told me, man, like life is like a table full of like glasses of water.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? That was definitely something we wouldn't have fucked with on the underground. I said, like, we do obscure samples so we don't get caught. Sampling Michael Jackson for Jackson 5? Man. I just recently talked to the guy who helped A&R, Ryan Wally, about that. And he's like, man, he's like, that was such a victory for us. He's like, you don't even know. Like, you have people fighting for you on a level, on a major label. Like, my major label experience was different. Once I got up to Warner Brothers, it was different, man. It's people that have been working at their shit as long or longer than me are in just a different mentality. But yeah, Ryan was a G for fighting to get that sample cleared. Never threw it in my face like, we paid this much for this sample. This better perform like this. It's like, we like the song. They suggested I go back and do it. Ryan may even pick one of these beats. I think Ryan picked the beat for The Breakup, if I'm not mistaken.
I hate you, you hate me, but still can't escape. We've been going through lately. Heartbroke, love struck, telling y'all it ain't me. Life without you, girl, is
But yeah, like real A&Rs, like recommending beats, producers fighting to get samples cleared and just getting the budget open. Like, you know what I mean? It was dope.
the drama, the struggle that built all these issues. It's all just to make sure they never forget you.
Did I leave your mind when I was gone? It's not my thing trying to get back.
All right. The song is better. I haven't listened to the song in 10 years. It's so cringe to me, as the kids say. But nah, it's not a bad song at all. Yeah, most people would use this single to make a platinum hit, I'm sure. Sort of like the Macklemore song we'll talk about later. With all due respect, I just, I made a song and he made a song, similar meaning, but he made a fucking hit. And I did not. Some people can do it. I'm still waiting for the day I do it. It's something I used to, God bless him, used to ask Shock about all the time. Like, man, how can I just need one Humpty Dance. I'll quit this shit right now. Let me get like Diddy by Paperboy.
Your place of mine all night until the next day. Hood. Do the ditty if you want to, because then I can see if I want to. Just do the ditty if you want to, because then I can see if I want to. Just do the ditty if you want to, because then I can see if I want to.
Skilo, I wish.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat.
Ahmad, back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days
when I was just a little nigga, I looked up to my bigger bro, begged if I could kick it. So when he went out with
Just give me one of those. Give me one Gangster's Paradise, bro. I'm out of here. Y'all never have to hear from me again. I used to, man, since 03, I've been like, yo, just give me one song. I promise. Y'all, unless you want me to come to the greatest hits throwback events, I'll stay in the house, bro. The publishing, when I start seeing what the publishing to do from those one songs, like, give me just one. Give me Humpty Dance. Just one. Like, I Kiss You Back. Fucking so many tears. Just give me one, bro. Oh, not for even not for the money, just to say that I did it, to make something that many people can relate to and feel. Like, oh, man. But, a lot of those people also, some of them could wish that they had a long career. Like, I've just had a career where I've been able to maintain a healthy lifestyle, support 4 kids and a wife, see the world, have organic. I love that I can still go places without security or TMZ or anything. I love that too. So I'm just, but, and one hit might take that away from me. God knows best. But, yeah, man. It was just a shot in the dark releasing this song. Like, I'm supposed to be on a major platform, but I'm like, can it be I stayed away too long? Like, reminding people I'm here. I don't know if that was the best idea to say, like, for my fans, I know y'all been waiting. Now it's finally here, and thank you for your patience. Yeah, I don't know if that's what I should be saying on my debut. Maybe I should have just acted like I was a new artist and nothing counted. Going back to the Run the Jewels reference, like, I watched them do an hour and a half worth of music, Killer Mike and LP, and none of them do anything before RTJ won. And everyone in the crowd was happy. Even me, who I definitely could have done for some Stepfather Factory and Go JoJo's Chillin'. I could have heard JoJo's Chillin' and Step Dead Disney something.
Wait!
Break.
My man JoJo, got call on fit photo. So he gotta get out of Atlanta, hit Soho. Baby mama say he been selfish, see I Soho. Then he picked up cell phone.
But everybody was like, I was happy too. They just did RTJ songs. They didn't ignore their catalog. Like coming out of, that was a discussion with me. I was like, but they wanted me to tell my story. It's funny, Ryan's still saying a similar thing to me now about the new album. Like, you gotta tell people your story. And people identify with this song. And it was a great first step. I really, like, God knows best, but I really wish we could have got to walk this album out. And hearing it, I think maybe this is another reason I don't listen to these songs, because it's so hurtful that I would have dealt with a flop. Like, I don't know who started this shit on Wikipedia, but I was looking up the Ego Trip album, and then it said only that as of 2021, this album has sold 400,019 units. And it's crazy because on that song he says, I'm the boss of this shit, and I ain't never went gold, nigga.
Stack black after black, game millions sold. I'm the boss of this bitch, and I ain't never went gold, nigga.
I done made some mistakes along the way to become the G I am today.
And I think this is his only album that didn't go gold, or maybe it's gold now, I hope so. But the power of words again. And I think some of those songs he didn't write. I think I remember an interview where Snoop saying something about ego tripping, and that was why he titled that, because he's like, I'm gonna let the little homies get some writing in. Before this whole ghostwriting shit was a big idea or a big deal, who gives a fuck, man? I'm doing this sampling of Can It Be? Michael Jackson did not write that fucking song. But there ain't nobody in the world can't sing it like him.
Can it be I stayed away too long? Did I leave your mind when I was gone?
I know Cube can write. I know that other people wrote for Cube. I know that Easy didn't write a fucking word, but I love Boys in the Hood. I just wish, when you act like, I get it, we call them out when they act like they're the GOAT and whatever. You can't be the GOAT lyricist if somebody writes for period. I get that. I'm not talking, I was been on this shaming ghostwriter thing before this whole blow up. This dust up, I want nothing to do with, I have no comment on. But in general, I think it's dope to, write songs for somebody, especially like Dr. Bombay was written by Ice Cube for Dale. And I think his Gangster's Fairy Tale was written by Dale for Ice Cube.
Yo, Ice Cube, man. Yo, Ice Cube, man. Why you always kicking the shit about the bitches and the niggas? Why don't you kick some shit about the kids, man? The fucking kids.
Word. Little boys and girls, they all love me. Come sit on the lap of ICE and let me tell you a story.
That's okay. Like, more shit like that, collaborative. So we don't have shit like I was talking about where motherfuckers are, I'd rather not, if we can just have more collaboration and less gangbanging in the studio, that'd be great. Okay, you have a better line. Right by committee. Someone's going to have a better line. You've proven yourself to get to this point. Anyway, I digress. As always. I don't think I've said that yet on this podcast. I need to say that more. I digress. But it says that I sold 58,000 records. I sold more than that on indie records. But both of the album, Murray's Revenge, I threw a tantrum or whatever and stopped working that, so we didn't get to finish out the full cycle. There was no, I paid for the Yesterday and Today video. Like, we didn't get, nothing got a real push because I wasn't talking with the label. And that's the thing, y'all. Like, I'm having this money, and like a lot of artists come about getting dropped or shelved or whatever. I got moved, and in the interim of me moving from record collection to Warner Brothers, they stopped working the record because it was a record collection thing, and I had threatened the people at record collection, unfortunately, so they weren't working the record. Did I stop? No. I paid the homie. Once again, shout out to Eric Payton and John Mazik. Like, cool, do a video for Murray's Revenge, do a video for this, I'm like, yo, I'm still working my record. Even if it's my money, the label should be paying for this because I don't get a dime off of these record sales, but fuck it. But they still didn't get marketed to major channels. I think Yesterday and Today could have been a great video for MTV at the time, but it never got promoted that way because I was at odds with the label. Then when Murs For President drops, like I could push something to 50, 60,000 records on my own. That was I think we did about that with Murs 360, maybe 70. We just did around that with, in the beginning. But something always happens. So like I said, God knows best, bro. And I guess maybe now is the time to tell that part of the story. Just like one day, another executive decided that he was going to fire the president, because Warner's part of Warner Electric Atlantic, WEA. If you know about that song, Free Mumia. That's how I got educated. Shout out to Karis once so many times.
Warner, Electra, Atlantic, WEA. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? Warner, Electra, Atlantic, WEA. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia?
From recital, I kicks the vital, like the final goal as I watch Babylon fall. I had to rush Limbaugh.
But somebody up there decided that Tom Whalley, who literally worked his way up in the 70s, I believe, from the fucking mailroom to president of the company. He left the Capitol for a bit, went to Interscope for a bit, and came back as the president. There are people who had worked there the whole time. All got fired in I don't understand what happened or why, but I don't think it was because they weren't selling records. I believe it was a personal matter. Weird, and like some other things happened that were like corporate warfare type shit. I guess, but see, then we get into this is how white people or corporate America gangbangs at the top. These are people with 7 figures doing hostile takeover type shit. Brought in the whole staff from another label, and I wasn't done working my record. The president came to my show in New York, and we had an argument, and he swore to me that he would work a record, and we were supposed to go with Lookin' Fly, and we'll get to everything after this. But Can It Be was just the first step, and like I've been in the parkour for a long time, so I like when the homie Rashidi Harper, who directed the Netflix documentary about the Chris Rock one that's on, I think it's Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. He directed that. He's directed a lot of cool shit over the years for Dre, and I was honored just to meet him, and he shot it. We shot it on film. We shot it in downtown L.A. A homie that I had beef with, like real beef with, rolled up on, like, it's nothing like, bro, like, when niggas talk about like shit, like motherfucker, I've really been outside, like shooting your video for your debut major label record, and somebody you have some legitimate, like, life or death beef with rolls up on a video set. I don't got security. I don't bring the homies with me. Like that, the story I told earlier is why I don't keep motherfuckers around me from my neighborhood. But I'm glad they vouch for me, but I'm not bringing them to work. But sometimes I get caught at work. But this was something they had nothing to do with. This was all me. And we just talked it out. I'll never, under the bridge in downtown LA, in the middle of this video shoot, I had to be like, hold up. I gotta talk to him. And luckily enough, time had passed, cooler heads prevailed. We exchanged numbers and we were cool. But man, when I tell you, bro, like this is a motherfucker that thought that I had tried to kill him, and it was, man. Thank God. Praise God, man. I really, amen. Like that was this video. But like, you know, and then my homie's like, bro, you stay at the gym all the time. You never take your shirt off in the video. You got to take your shirt off in the video. Like Tupac, like the bitches don't take off your shirt. I was like, I don't take off my shirt in the video. I took my shirt off for the video. Like this was all like an introduction. Like I did the thing where we were on MTV every 30 minutes and then I was rapping. I still shot it at Fat Beats, trying to keep it trill, keep it real underground. Then this was the first single with some still sample bass with an LA West Coast hip hop legend's son. Like that was important to me. Kid Frost is a legend, and to work with his son who's super talented was dope. I'm still very West Coast with these bunny ear dreads like sticking up with a positive message. I'm talking about God and prayer on this song. I forgot about that. I started to cry at the end of the song. I'm really trying to do this for Black America, whatever it takes. Like I said, I gave them all the pieces. I put a little bit of something in every song. Talking about the Will.I.Am song, like I had Lookin' Fly, like he worked with Game. I had a hook by Game that we didn't end up using that song, but it was a dope song. Game did a dope hook for it, but it had meaning. It was still a conscious song. I was ready for this moment, man. And it sucks that like corporate hostility. So as I judge my own people, I will say that does exist with white people in corporate America, because that shit was cold, gone. And then my album, like they're just shelving it, like, yo, yeah, we don't see any singles on this record. I was like, we have a difference of fucking opinion, bro. But anyway, so when I hear this, so another reason I haven't listened to these songs and listen to this album, because it is all over the place. But now I'm listening back and it's like, there's the thing. We are telling a story. Like, cool. We got the two. We got Hoping I'm Innocent, stating, you know, the statement, and all we kind of go into on the album. There's some shit about girls in there, some bars in there, some socially conscious shit in there, and it's over a Knife Wonder beat, and I'm just rapping. I'm like, that's the intro. My mom, when I used to get stuck on my English project, like, tell them what you're gonna tell them, and then tell them what you told them. That was her way of explaining structure of essays to me, and that's how I try to structure the album. If you know, like when we get to Breakthrough, you'll see that. So tell them what you're gonna tell them. That's the Innocent, and then tell them. So now I'm telling you, starting at the second chapter, right? You know. It's Lookin' Fly like Condor, then right into the science. Same producer for Can It Be and the science. So we have kind of like a theme. Yeah, homies on heroin. First, back to the breath. For homies on heroin, heroin's a coke. Eli lets me talk about this, but like we were living together. I had no idea Eli was struggling with addiction as bad as he was. Like he would tell me like, I'm running, dude. I'm going to get up and I see you running. I see you, you know, before I moved to the Palazzo, before I had a gym in my building, I would like get up. We had a room where just our fucking CDs were, and I had a weight bench. I would fucking hit, you know, 145 plate on each time, hit that shit, you know, 4 rounds, 10 to 15 times, boom, boom, boom. Sit ups, then go run. Like I was like programming. So, you know, I also was writing, like, told me the homie locked up. Like, I was writing him. He's telling me, programming. Like, I'm trying to be in solidarity with some of my homies that are locked up and just trying to also just get in the right diet, right? Like, I want a family. I want a wife. Like, I have a tax accountant now, and she has me saving and doing the bullshit Russell Simmons type credit card where I'm building credit, and I'm physically, mentally, spiritually trying to prepare for what I want. And he was in the whole time just in the darkest place of his life, and I was not there for him. I didn't know how to be there for him. Like, when he had one of the homies come pick him up and take him to a treatment center, and I said, why didn't you have me do it? And he said, Murs, if you found out what I was doing, you would have beat my ass. And I think we talked about it on the podcast, and he was right. He was fucking right, man. That's all I know. You do something wrong, I have to fuck you up. Like, cause that's how I was taught, and that's not right. Yeah, man. But can you even blame them when they're only trying to cope?
For my supporters and my fans, man, I know y'all been waiting. Now it's finally here, and thank you for your patience. The world's gone crazy since we last spoke. Bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. Shooting at the school, economy's a joke. Homies on heroin, homies on coke. But can you even blame them when they only trying to cope? Damn. All these rappers wanna talk about is guns and dope. Don't they realize we all at the end of our rope? The future all depends on the power of our quotes, the power of a pen, the power of a vote, the power of your words, the power of your voice, the power of America's the freedom of choice. We choose to do nothing, we lose and we suffering. That it's time to do something. It's not socialism, it's not communism. It's loving each other, realize there's no difference. It's positive movement, gradual improvement. When no one else does, believe you can do it. My heart is a speaker, I bleed this music. The beats in my blood, I must transfuse it. If it wasn't for this, then I just might lose it. Damn. My goddaughters, Nadia, Simone, Deanna, knowing that our father's never coming home. Claimed by the streets, it's the mother war zone. Tears in my eyes as I'm writing this song. Mommy working 2 jobs, trying to do it on her own. No matter where I go or how far I roam, know that I love you and you'll never be alone. Damn, y'all so grown. And a wise man told me, man, like, life is like a table full of like glasses of water, and your job is to keep them all full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I forgot it. We didn't even got the guns and dope, but shooting at the school, economy's a joke. We still have school shootings. The American economy is still supposedly in flux. This is 2008. I'm writing this in 2007, maybe early 2008. Man, bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. I didn't know Obama's slogan was going to be hope, but that worked out. The absence of hope. Yeah. Like all that in that, on those few lines, the bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal or better than. I am slow. I am late. But I remember being in a hotel with Brother Ali in Melbourne, Australia. And when we get together, we talk. We talk for hours. But that night just so happened, like, you know, like I was in Australia. I was single, ready to mingle, but definitely mingling on that trip, I believe. I don't know if it was after this or before this. It might have been after this, but I think it may have been after. It's like just getting in touch with what's going on in Sudan, like, and then having him around this time explain to me what was going on in Palestine and Israel. And like, he was the first person to say, like, you know, just, like, Israel's only existed for 75 years. So, the state and blah, like just explaining to me those politics, which, caused me to have some tough conversation with some of my friends, and if there is a side to it, like hearing their side to it, hearing what a Jewish American is taught about Israel and hearing what a Muslim American is taught about Israel or knows about Israel. And man, seeing like in 2008, seeing that we were fucked if we didn't do anything. Environmentally, like me being a vegan, not so much. I remember PETA trying to like get me to speak, and I'm just like, man, like I got too many homies to die to tell you that I really feel it in my heart about animal welfare, but I know that it's healthier for me and it's better for the earth. Like the lives of, I wasn't at that point. I think I'm getting close to that point now, but I'm not a vegan because I value the lives of animals over the lives of humans, or even at a point where I think that the lives of animals and humans are equal. I don't know how I feel on that. Depends on the day. My kids, they love animals, but I've just seen too much and been through too much. What Peter, are we fighting for the lives of animals to save the earth, to promote a healthy lifestyle, or for animal rights? Because animal rights, while the people I live next door to don't have access to proper education and can be shot by the police at any fucking time or by their neighbor, you're gonna have to get with me in a minute on that shit. That's just how I felt with Peter. They didn't like that interview. But yeah, this is the shit I want to rap about, man. On my major label debut, I don't think anybody else is thinking about this shit. This is the first single of my major label debut. This is what I want to get on MTV and say. Shooters at the school, economy is a joke. Bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. Homies doing heroin, homies on coke, but can't even blame. That's right out the gate, bro, over a Michael Jackson sample that probably cost my label a fuck ton.
For my supporters and my fans, man, I know y'all been waiting. Now it's finally here, and thank you for your patience. The world's gone crazy since we last spoke. Bloodshed and war, the absence of hope. Shooting at the school, economy's a joke. Homies on heroin, homies on coke. But can you even blame them when they only trying to coke? Damn. All these rappers wanna talk about is guns and dope. Don't they realize we all at the end of our rope?
All these rappers want to talk about is guns and dope. Don't they realize they're all at the end of a rope? Yeah. Future all depends on the power of a quote, the power of a pen, the power of a vote, the power of your words, the power of your voice, the power of America is the freedom of choice. Choose to do nothing. We lose and we suffer. And I've expressed my frustration with, you can choose to leave. You can choose to stay. You can choose to act. Choose to do nothing. We lose and we something. Can't you see that it's time to do something? It's not communism. It's not socialism. It's loving each other, realize there's no difference. All of these are isms and systems and ideologies in place. Nobody has the complete right answer. Capitalism is not the right answer. In my opinion, it's one of the best answers. But it's not 100% correct. It could use a lot of infusion of socialism. I think a mixture of all of them. We're all humans, and we've all found ways to govern humans that are somewhat successful. If we come together and share the notes from capitalism, communism, whateverism, and whatever the fuck you come up with, I'm sure that we could come up with a unilateral, but then it would be a one world order. But I would love it for a place where if you want to live in communism, social, but capitalism is built on. And that's I don't think that's the only way capitalism can work, but the current way is not the way. And it has a finite lifespan. And I think we are witnessing the collapse of it. We may not be allowed to see the full collapse, and it sucks that we won't learn or change before that happens. I don't believe we will. But there's hope, because we can't have the absence of hope. That's why I make music like this. This is why I make the moves that I do. This is why I work in my community the way I do. And some people choose to protest. Some people have chosen to move out of the country. Do something. Do something. That's all I can say. Whether it's get rich and stay out of the way, do something. But I really believe that it's rooted in love and a reverence for a higher power. I believe that then. I believe that now. Whether voting makes a difference or not, that's fine. It's my opinion. It's I don't think that it hurts to vote. But I really wish my political friends we should have started working on, I feel like, a third party candidate in 2020. Honestly, that's what I thought. But I don't know how to work that system. I don't have it, but maybe it's time for me to figure that out. And as we listen to Murs For President, because it's getting really there's just, I don't believe, maybe I'm not in the right circles, but I'm how we didn't start working to a viable candidate? Motherfuckers thought Joe was the answer and we was good. But I got 4 kids, man. Maybe as they get older, I'll figure it out. But yeah, who knows? You know, and these are evergreen podcasts. When I could look like a complete idiot and asshole, and sorry if I offend anyone, but I'm not happy with our two major choices and not having a viable third choice when places like Germany and other countries have way more choices than us, but they're not perfect either. Like I said, I don't know. I believe if there was a clear, like, this person is right and we're wrong answer out there, we would hopefully adopt it. But there's a lot of nuance to it. But without conversation, without action, there will be no change. Period. Just to let you guys know how my life is working right on cue, as I'm sure as we were talking about who cares about animals. My kids are talking about, they keep track of the dead animals they see and the sorrow that they feel, and they just text me about a bird that didn't make it out of the bird's nest in our backyard. So yeah, they care. Speaking of that, going next verse, like, my goddaughters, Nadia, Simone, Deanna, knowing that her father never coming home, claimed by the streets, victim of the war zone.
My goddaughters, Nadia, Simone, Deanna, knowing that her father's never coming home, claimed by the streets, victim of the war zone. Tears in my eyes as I'm writing this song. Mommy working 2 jobs, trying to do it on her own. No matter where I go or how far I roam, know that I love you and you'll never be alone. Damn, y'all so grown.
I don't know about mentioning their names in there. At that time, I was like, look, if I'm going to be on Warner Brothers and this is going to be a single, these little girls have had such a poor hand dealt them losing their father. Like, at least they could get a shout out on a video that's going to be on MTV, like, lift them up. You know what I mean? That was my idea, but I don't know if this was the right format or the right way to do it. They have never said anything to me, but, you know, but also I was still processing. I didn't know what was right, what was wrong. But I was with them a lot, as much as I could be at the time. And they were on my mind, the forefront of my mind at all times. So, you know, mom working 2 jobs, trying to do it on her own. Like, you know, there's no VA bill for people who die in, as a result, I guess it was called gang violence. So yeah, like, your husband dies. You have 3 kids to take care of. You lost 1 income. There's, you know, I don't know what type of compensation there is for that. Not enough. So my homegirl had to work 2 jobs, and I helped when I could. This is another reason I was really hoping to make this record a Grammy award winning or get that 1-hit record. Not, you know, I want to write it just because it's like to have a feather in the cap, but not because I need a lot of the money, but because I can help a lot of people. They were 4 individuals, them and their mother, were someone I was really, really interested in helping with the success of this record. So I shouted them out. I don't know if it was the best thing. I tried to live up on that. The more kids I have, the worse of a godfather I've been. Just TBH. But they talked to me about it recently. But it's hard, man. But yeah, like, you know, I used to, when I moved to Arizona for a little bit after this record, I will fly them down or make sure they got trains or buses or whatever they got down to spend New Year's with me. Help where and when I could. Yeah. I can remember now where I was when I wrote these last 2 songs to us. The album was done. Yeah, the album was done. And I had bought a Benz, the SL500 convertible Benz. That's a story for another time. Maybe we'll tell that when we get to So Comfortable we talk about cars. But yeah, I couldn't even be. And like, I had done so much turmoil with the breakup, and then my wife now and I had broken up, and I wasn't trying to keep dating the same girl that I was going back and forth with. But I couldn't be in that apartment because it just had like all these memories. And I was like, all right, y'all. I went to the Fairmont Hotel in Newport Beach. And if you've ever been there, it's very white and very ritzy. But I had gotten a suite there a couple of times. I had money, so I was like, and you know, and also now the hair thing's not an issue. Part of me getting a convertible was because my hair couldn't fit in a normal car. Part of, I'm not gonna lie, so that was the whole reason. But you pull up in a SL500 2-seater with a nice looking woman, they'll take your bags and give you the room. I didn't have no. This is when I started learning, like, okay, if you don't want to be discriminated against, like, I literally, I'll say a year and a half from this moment, I'm on a Living Legends tour and I'm standing out in front of the hotel in Sacramento and people get out of the shuttle and start handing me money like I'm homeless because they don't see me getting out of a Mercedes. So with the hair, it was kind of necessary. And the style of dress, I still didn't ever start dressing flashy or wearing Versace or anything. So yeah, there's like with this car, we can just talk about it. But there's times I went to valet and I had like girls talking shit about my hair, like literally behind me, black girls, like I could hear them. And then my car came up and then it was like, excuse me, hey. I was like, bitch, I didn't say anything. I just laughed and drove off. I was like, wow, this is really, you know, moments like the NBA All-Star Weekend, like this is how some certain people in my community, especially in the black community, are receiving me now. Like shit, the songs changed about my hair, depending on what I have or where you see me or what I'm driving. But yeah, I wrote this at the Fairmont because I had to get out of there. I love that hotel still. And it's crazy to write a song after it was a wild night. But once I got alone and like just, I was like, oh man, now I can write to these fucking Scoop DeVille beats. So I wrote the science and this at the Fairmont in Newport Beach. I felt like I might have brought my little karaoke machine to play the beats off of because before Bluetooth speakers were hitting like they are.
And a wise man told me, man, like, life is like a table full of, like, glasses of water, and your job is to keep them all full, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's happy, but at the same time, you gotta keep your pitcher full of water so you can fill everybody else up. And it's like, damn!
But then we get to the hook where I'm talking the hook about the water in the pitcher. That's something I stole. I believe the man's name is Alex. When I went to go have a meeting for pay dues, he worked with Guerrilla Union early on. And like I said, I was in training mode for finding a wife and having a family. So he was talking about his wife, his family, he had to leave the meeting, the kids, blah, blah. I was like, man, how do you do it all? And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm a nerd about a lot of things. When I want to do something, I'm going to research it. I'm going to find out every little fucking thing about it. So this was a huge thing for me. And being that I never had a father who really did it, you know, I wanted to talk to fathers who really did it. And people I admired, like the dude I know, we've done business together. I've seen him at shows, like he doesn't fuck around, like he's a straight dude. Like, how do you do it? So he's like, man, and he gave me the story about the picture. That's quoting him exactly. None of my words. My words, his concept. And it made so much sense even when he said before I had a wife and kids, just, you know, pouring into people. And just before people always say pouring into, he was one of the first people I heard say that. So I stole that and I always want to give him credit. I'm sorry if I get his name wrong, but I think it's Alex. And I've seen him after and I told him and he knew. I told him before the album came out and then I didn't just steal without giving credit. I didn't give him credit in the song because I don't know if he came up with the concept, but yeah.
From the independent hip-hop scene, now they talking like I'm not a hip-hop fiend. Needle in my arm, can't they see I'm ODing? You'll never take the strike from this triple OGing. I blaze trails, creative festival, lost 50 G's on paid dues, is that acceptable? What, I'm not down for the cause? Hold on, Mike, I'ma need a few bars. I could've done the Nas and scream hip-hop is dead. I got up on my ass and I did something instead. Signed with the devil, brought the scene up a level, killed the beast from within. I'm a born-again rebel, trying to save the youth from the way of the gun. And if I only save one, then my job is done. So you can say what you will, but you should judge me none. From my God, from my faith as I move place to place. Times I thought if I could just die, it'd be great. Drop on the spot, man, I didn't even care. I stopped talking to you, I stopped saying prayers. Numb from the liquor and the antidepressants. Pressure from the label, studio stressing. Almost lost my passion to pursue this profession. From myself, from my soul, when I'm out on the road, I give so much out to these kids I don't know. I thought I lost you with no one to talk to, but you're the one that opened up these doors that I walk through. I can't fault you, only forgive you. I'm the only one that's seen the pain that you've been through, the drama, the struggle that built all your issues. The drama, the struggle that built all these issues, it's all just to make sure they never forget you.
Did I leave your mind when I was gone? It's not my thing trying to get back.
From the independent hip hop scene, I talking like I'm not a hip hop fiend. Needle in my arm, can't they see I OD? You never take the strike from this triple OG. I should have done that instead of ODing, triple OGing. Ugh, cringe. Yeah, a lot of people thought I sold out, wasn't doing stuff with living legends as much or whatever at all, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm still like investing in the future of underground hip hop. Throwing this festival. Funny, yeah, all this time, yeah, like, you know, appearing on OD, Overly Dedicated, with Kendrick Lamar at that time.
I up and walked out, now she crying cause she need me. I got that John Bryan love, that Define love. We call it punch drunk. We was a two-piece, she was a one-punch. You know a knockout, and if she was to walk out, my heart would go black, shrivel up and drop out. There we go again, what the fuck you talking about? We used to fuck all the time back at my mama's house, smoking BDs, laying on the futon. Memories I got saved up like a coupon, and we be too gone off a sack of stress.
Like, I was still investing time working with people who were coming up. Not just, I may not have been working with living legends, but I was helping the next living legends, or, you know, or people trying to come up with pay dues. And helping myself, I made money, but I didn't need the money at that time. I was good. But yeah, it definitely helped set up things for my future that I'm still benefiting from. So, you know, there was a give and take, but, you know, people, you know, I'm not doing songs with rhyme sayers or whatever the fuck. And even when I used to wear the racing suits, Murs For President era on our press picture, I still put Rhyme Sayers logos, Def Jux, and Living Legends logo all over my little racing suit, along with Warner Brothers. Like, just unity, man. Man. I could have done a Nas and said hip hop was dead, but I got up off my ass and I did something instead. Woo!
I could have done the Nas and screamed hip hop is dead. I got up on my ass and I did something instead. Signed with the devil, brought the scene up a level, killed the beast from within. I'm a born again rebel.
Man, I be just saying shit and forgetting. Like the Lil Wayne shit from The Animal and This Is For. I didn't have no idea, man. But, you know, grace of God, man. But yeah, there was an incident, I feel like, where my brother was trying to alert me to a situation. So I think Nas is entourage, something I maybe that wasn't it. And I told my brother, never mind. But maybe he knew something I didn't. Maybe they was looking at me. He could have taken super offense to that and wanted to fuck me up. I have no idea. But I'm sure, for me, I was like, man, nobody's tripping off me, you know? Lost 50 G's on pay dues. Is that acceptable? If you want to hear that story, that's coming up on Patreon. And it'll be a second because I got to go on vacation, but I want to make sure you had these episodes and I'll come back. But yeah, 50 G's. Ugh. Like I said, like, I did make a little money, but I didn't need it. I'm glad I did it. I made money, but I made sure all of my friends made money. And as I sat down and talked with the guy, like, about the science, like, he was like, that was his thing. He's like, when I was on the streets, I made sure all of my friends made money. Nobody really saw me. You know what I'm saying? He telling me, like, when the police arrested me, they thought I was a myth. They didn't think I existed. But, you know, I stopped gang problems because I would tell the homies, instead of going over there and shooting at them, go over there and hand them some work so everybody can get busy and make money. And that was, you know, me, whether, you know, it was all the different rappers I didn't like or didn't care for. Like, I'm going to give you some work so we can all make money. And I guess in the end, I made the most money, but I did the most work. And I definitely had the most stress. Like, if you listen to the thing, talk about getting lockjaw. Yeah. So just talking to those people, man, like, I'm always going to be real hip hop. I love this shit. And this song coming after the science on the album, letting people know, like, my love for the culture has gone absolutely fucking nowhere. You know what I mean? It just looks different. You can love hip hop and stay true and still be on a major label. That's all I want to say. And definitely, I didn't, at that time, I still don't care for the, you know, like on the science, like, I don't know if I ever heard a lot of people say Cedric and Cedar and Kool Herc on the record. I wanted to say that Harriet Tubman, Kool Herc, Cedric and Cedar, things that are important in our community. Far be it from me to say hip hop. Yeah, and Will did the beat for Hip Hop Is Dead too. I'm just like, You can have your opinion. We don't have to fight, but I'm not about to let you say hip hop is dead. Nah. I took offense to that. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay for I don't want to fight about it. I don't want to argue about it. I don't agree, bro. And as he puts on Beach Street on Broadway, but I guess maybe he had somebody tried to explain it to me. So maybe that's not what he meant and I misunderstood it. But I'm so glad that hopefully I didn't ruffle his feathers too much. I've done business with Mass Appeal and similar people, but maybe, I don't know. I was blackballed. I don't think so. Really like that guy and his music. And I don't know why I said that. I just be saying shit. But I said it because I disagree, but I never thought. For me, I just never think that, if it is that say, I'm not insulting you. I disagree. You say hip hop is dead. You got to expect someone to say something. And I'm glad that it never erupted anything. But now looking back, I'm like, why did I even fucking say? I could have who am I? What did I need to say anything for? On my first thing on Warner Brothers, I'm also saying signed with the devil. Brought the scene up a level. Kill the beast from within. I'm an underground rebel. No. Signed with the devil. I said that on the song. I'm quote unquote dissing the label. I was just talking shit, man. And they put it out still. Like I said, all the things I hear about them wanting to destroy, maybe they knew this wasn't going to sell, it wasn't going to make a fucking difference. I don't know, man. But I was trying my little heart out, man. Hip hop's not dead. I got a festival. I'm signed with the devil. Brought the woohoo. I was fucking, man, giving it to the man. At least I thought. Oh, shit, bro. Trying to save the youth from the way of the gun. If I only save one, then my job is done. I feel like I've done that. And that I may have not have killed the beast from within and been the underground rebel everyone wanted, but I definitely got to touch a lot more people than I would have without this label, without this push, without this video, without this song.
From my God, from my faith as I move place to place. Times I thought if I could just die, it'd be great. Drop on the spot, man, I didn't even care. I stopped talking to you, I stopped saying prayers. Numb from the liquor and the antidepressants. Pressure from the label, studio stressing. Almost lost my passion to pursue this profession. From myself, from my soul, when I'm out on the road, I give so much out to these kids I don't know. I thought I lost you with no one to talk to, but you're the one that opened up these doors that I walk through. I can't fault you, only forgive you. I'm the only one that's seen the pain that you've been through, the drama, the struggle that built all your issues. The drama, the struggle that built all these issues. It's all just to make sure they never forget you.
Did I leave your mind when I was gone? It's not my thing trying to get back.
Yeah, man. Just talking about my relationship with God. I wish I would have listened to this song again a lot sooner. It would have been better for me as a lover of Jesus. If I would have listened to this song, it would have got me back to where I am now. It got to me to where I am quicker. But, God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan.
Talking about liquor and antidepressants, that wasn't major label talk for artists. Talking about wanting to self-harm myself and quit and losing the passion to pursue this profession. And I think I finally have lost it. I almost lost it there. And then just talking to myself with the last verse of just even writing this song, it's like me writing, I said, it was a wild night, the night before I wrote this song. I'm, premarital sex, I think that's what I was struggling with the most, porn stars and blah, blah, then turn around and do a conscious rap and blah, blah. It just, man, it was a lot of turmoil in my soul when you stop. When I stopped numbing myself with alcohol and the antidepressants and okay, there is, like they said, there's two wolves and which one's going to win or survive is the one you feed the most. So it's I'm feeding both still, even though I stopped, but as I stopped feeding the darker wolf with the liquor and substances, or I guess it's just liquor for me, but liquor and then, to me, my diet's still substances and exercising. The darker wolf, I think the last hole was really just being promiscuous, premarital sex, adultery. like it went after that with a vengeance. You know what I mean? Like this is like leading into me like eating porn stars out on the radio and all wild, bro. But I think that was the last thing from keeping me right. So it was fighting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like death throes, like, you know, cornered, like, oh shit, he's about to get all the way right. Fuck. Can't let this happen. I feel like an inner battle. So I was, you know, but like I said, like a wild night. Then I wrote this song the next day. Drama, stress issue. Like, you know, I can't fault you, only forgive you. Talking to myself, giving my father that forgiveness, and then extend, you know, starts that, I guess that's the root. And then giving myself, extend that forgiveness to myself. Cause I don't know where else I'm supposed to be at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you could go through and see what I seen and be in a better place than I was at this point. I was still lost, but man, not as lost as I could have been by the grace of God, you know. All just to make sure they never forget you. And then boom, it goes away. Did I leave your mind when I was like making it make sense all the way back around to the end? Can it be I stayed away too long? To did I leave your mind when I was gone was a conscious effort. There was a whole arc. I was just talking to my homie about how I can't watch The Office, or like it's a long, like he's like, there's a romance in it. It's a 300 episode to resolve. I'm like, man, I cannot watch fucking shit that long. I need constant season 1. I need a beginning, this drama, this, and then need to figure out the whodunit by the end of season 1, and maybe a slight cliffhanger for season 2. But I can't do that. So because that's how I tell my stories. Like this is the conclusion. The sample says, can it be I stayed away too long? Did I leave your mind when I was gone? So can it be I stayed away too long? For my supporters and my fans, I want to know, boom. And then how do I then boom, the drama, the struggle, the issues, all this to make sure they never forget you. Did I leave your mind? That was conscious. That is, to me, that is good writing. Tell them what you want to tell them, and tell them what you told them. I'm going to tell y'all some more when I get back from vacation. Love y'all. Hopefully y'all got tickets to get to the live podcast August 3rd, BRILA Live, 611 Anderson Street, downtown Los Angeles. Go to Eventbrite or the link wherever it is in my bio. I'll probably be telling y'all about it on social media. Get your tickets. Let's see each other, give hugs, daps, whatever. See you soon. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in L.A. podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs 316. See y'all next week. Peace.